What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns riding along with Officer Delinquent in the squad car we've commandeered. Obviously, the authorities are not too happy about that, but so are a lot of gamers concerning the police uniforms. And that's what we're talking about today. It's been a while since I've done a rant video, mainly because I've had nothing to rant about until today. So yes, we are talking about the police uniforms. Alright, so they came in along with the garbage uniforms when Heist was released a few weeks ago, and apparently there's a glitch to get the uniforms for the time being, either through one of the prison break setups or Hasta La Vista 3, which is what a lot of people, including myself, have attempted to do. Now, a ton of gamers are currently in law enforcement. Well, they're pretending to be. They're posing as cops, and if they ever get arrested by the LSPD, that's some hard time at Bolingbroke because you cannot impersonate an officer. All kidding aside, obviously Rockstar added a lot of awesome stuff with the Heists DLC, including new vehicles, a new weapon like the flare gun, yay! Not much of a weapon, but anyways, they also added new clothing items, a whole bunch of new masks. However, there are a few clothing items that you could use in Heists and in some of the adversary modes that are currently unpurchasable. As mentioned, the 4 versions of the police uniform, I think there's 4 versions, and also the garbage uniforms. But more specifically, we're talking about the police uniforms because that's the hot ticket item right now. That's what a lot of gamers are desperately trying to get with either the prison break setup or, as I mentioned, Hasta La Vista 3. I've given up, by the way, because A, I just get sick and tired of seeing everybody jump over just to try and get the uniform instead of taking turns. And what really grinds my gears is I actually want to play Hasta La Vista. And I've tried playing Hasta La Vista 1, 2, 4, 5. I think there's only 5. There might be 6. But anyways, the point is I've tried to play them. And every single time I get into an Hasta La Vista, everybody else is trying to be the cops. And within a few seconds, 2 of them disappear, and so the game is over. You win $200 or was it $3,000 depending on how long it lasts. Anyways, I actually am one of the few that is enjoying the adversary modes and would very much like to actually be able to play Hasta La Vista, all of them, and perhaps use them for racing badly. And to be honest, I don't mind being a trucker. I just wish that everyone else would just take turns. If you go into Hasta La Vista 3 and you're supposed to be a trucker, then just be a trucker this time. And next time when you get to be a cyclist, then that's your opportunity to get the cop uniform. But I would prefer if Rockstar would have just solved this problem from the very get-go and made it a non-issue. They could have done that, but this is just one of countless examples of Rockstar just failing to even foresee a problem and actually creating it by inaction. Now let's go back in time in Grand Theft Auto Online history. One of the first things that people wanted that Rockstar was very slow to put in online that was in story mode was Franklin's Buffalo. Now it's called the Buffalo S, but back in the day it was just called the Buffalo, aka Franklin's Buffalo. So a lot of people found out how you could glitch the Buffalo into Grand Theft Auto Online, and thus it began. Gamers that wanted specific story mode items, they couldn't purchase the story mode items, went on YouTube and found YouTubers that were making videos about these glitches from other people that spent time and somehow looking through the code in order to figure out how to make these glitches actually happen. That's the part that I find very fascinating because somebody took the time to figure out how to get Franklin's Buffalo from story mode to online, and the same thing goes with the police and garbage uniform. Somebody actually did a lot of trial and error or just happened to be very good with coding and could see a loophole or a glitch or some way to make that a reality. But getting back on topic, yes, there have been several vehicles like this, like the Roosevelt, the Liberator, the Sovereigns. All those vehicles have been glitched numerous times, including others as well, and weapons too, like the musket, the railgun from story mode, even though that got patched, the Gusenberg, aka the Tommy gun, and of course, a lot of people know my channel because of one vehicle in particular, the Stallion. Now, there used to be a time when you could eventually get the Stallion that you wanted. Sometimes it costed a few bucks, like, say, 600,000 bucks in my case. Some people ended up spending more money, but eventually Rockstar patched that and made it to where only the non-top Stallion is what comes out when you buy the Stallion. Stallion, unfortunately, not the soft top or hard tops anymore. So that's forced a lot of people into glitching and duping the Stallion. And I've mentioned a bazillion times already, I'm not really into that sort of thing. But at the same time, I really do sympathize with everybody that wants the soft or hard top Stallions, just like I sympathize with everybody that wanted the Franklin Buffalo back in the day. Same thing goes with the police in garbage uniforms. Now with the Stallion, Rockstar could have fixed the issue by simply having 3 versions of the Stallion for us to choose from on the website. Or you could have taken your Stallion to Los Santos Customs and customized it there, similar to how you could do with the Dukes and a lot of the other vehicles that happen to have various options and mods to choose from. But for whatever rhyme or reason, unless they're planning on fixing this, at the moment Rockstar took an unfortunate situation regarding the Stallion and they simply made it worse. The same thing goes for the police and garbage uniforms, because eventually Rockstar is going to patch those glitches while at the same time taking those uniforms, those outfits away from everybody. And if you think Rockstar cannot do that, yes they can, because all my characters had festive surprise clothing on, and the day they decided to shut that down, everybody's festive surprise outfits were gone. The hats, the clothing, except for the red stocking mask. So yes, Rockstar does have the means to take away the police and garbage uniforms once they patch those glitches. And yes, the result is going to be a lot of really pissed off gamers in the Grand Theft Auto Online community, which goes back to the fact that Rockstar has created this problem to begin with. Now, I hate to say this because I love Rockstar games. I think they make some of the best games out there, like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, Max Payne, the list goes on. And I think they really do care about the gaming community. However, this situation is obviously, in my honest opinion, Rockstar's fault. The YouTubers who have made videos promoting these glitches aren't to blame. Whoever came up with the idea and found a way to make the glitch happen is not to blame. The gamers that have used the glitches, Hasta La Vista 3 and the prison break setup in order to get the police uniforms or garbage uniforms, they're not to blame either. It's Rockstar. All they had to do was include those outfits, those clothing items, the police uniforms, the garbage uniforms, as unlockable, similar to the vehicles. Once you complete that specific prison break setup, the police uniforms unlock. Once you complete the trash setup in Serious A funding, the garbage uniforms unlock. And once you complete the heist finale for Pacific Standard Job, more police outfits unlock. That's the way Rockstar should have done it. Make it to where the items unlock, and then you can go to the clothing store and purchase those items. Obviously for kind of a steep price tag, $50,000 to $100,000, depending on the quality of the outfits, because I realize some police uniforms have more bells and whistles on them than others. But doing that would have solved the problem right then and there before there ever was a problem to begin with. Now, it's possible that Rockstar is eventually going to implement the police uniforms in a future DLC, maybe a Cops and Crooks DLC somewhere down the road, but the point is the outfits are already in the game thanks to heists, so you might as well just unlock them and put them for sale in the clothing stores. Just solve the problem right then and there, nip it in the butt. The gamers are happy, Rockstar's happy because they don't have a flame war on their hands and less hate mail and tweets to deal with. But unfortunately, by preventing most gamers from the ability to simply unlock and buy these items, Rockstar has created this glitch problem to begin with, and some will always, unfortunately, continue to do glitching and duping just because that's how they are. But most of us gamers prefer doing the missions, grinding them, earning money, ranking up, the heists in order to unlock and earn these outfits, weapons, and vehicles like the various versions of the Stallion, the Roosevelt, Liberator Monster Truck, Sovereign, as well as future time-limited content from DLCs, maybe coming up in July with a new Independence DLC. Of course, we did think that there was going to be a time-limited Valentine's DLC, but that never happened. So perhaps Rockstar should just do this. Scrap the whole notion of time-limited DLCs, make all DLCs permanent from here on out, and just add everything everything back to the clothing section, to the websites, etc., so that everybody can purchase the items legitimately. So yeah, there'll be more people buying Roosevelts and Liberators and Sovereigns and Muskets, GeauxBurns. But if that means less glitching and duping and a happier gaming community, then so be it. Let's just bring it in to limited edition, time limited DLCs, because it really doesn't matter anyways. Because if you go back to 2013, when they had special editions and you got to purchase the hot knife and the chameleon and the bike, I believe it's called the Carbon RS or SR, whatever. The point is, there was a time when those were quote-unquote limited edition, but last year in November, whenever they rolled out the current-gen versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Online for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they decided to make those limited editions available for everybody. In other words, Rockstar has already technically crossed the line when it comes to limited edition or time-limited content. So just undo all that, make all the clothing, vehicles, weapons, and yes, even the police and garbage uniforms available for all gamers in Grand Theft Auto Online to purchase and enjoy.